Like the Intellivision. Now, I was a 2600 guy, and I tried to make this point to Tommy. I was asking him some tough questions. I'm not here to say anything good, bad, or indifferent about the guy. I'm just saying I asked him the tough questions. I said, you're putting out a console, and you're talking Wii era technology now, to people that think Breath of the Wild was a terrible game and don't like the new Pokemon game. I mean, you got wolves coming after you putting this thing out here.
Yeah.
I said, and you're talking about a console that sold 3 million units to Atari's like 33 million, I think it was at the time, pre-game crash. I was like, how is this even going to work? But he was just so brutally optimistic about it. And of course, we know now none of the stuff we talked about ever came to fruition. And again, I'm not trying to talk bad or anything. I'm just saying it's a fact. We know now. It is what it is.
Snake oil.
It is what it is. But what blew my mind was that, and this will tie into the refund. I'll answer that question.
Because I'm going to guess that he didn't get
I'm like,
He got it.
We're going to buy this console, right? It's a $250, $300 console. But we were already playing demos for the software on this. We were playing on things that we already had. So if I can play it on this, it's really going to be hard for me to go and buy a console to play it. And I'm thinking, and I didn't get to ask him these things, because again, this was very early on in the Amico lifespan, but it's like, I'm sure a lot of you played.
Before Pat got involved.
Well, we played Intellivision Lives. There was the Intellivision Lives collection on PS2. It was also on the Nintendo DS. There's been the At Games plug and plays that were pretty well done, pretty,
Which one?
All of them.
pretty
There's a couple
robust
decent
offerings of Intellivision collections. So the main question is, why weren't they just going to put out a collection? Because Sega's done it, a lot of different people have done it, that you could just get on your phone and get the games that you want and sell it that way. Putting the hardware in, which that was the irony, the hardware was their downfall. They couldn't get that to work. Why didn't you just sell a new collection on Nintendo Switch? Atari did it, the Atari collection.
Well, and think about the money. Think about the money saved. They'd probably actually be out with it, and it'd probably be
It would be
fairly
out. It would have been out
successful.
years ago
Yeah.
because you would have had no overhead. You'd
Yeah.
just be slapping that on a collection, and I would have bought it because I buy
Really,
collections.
they were just
Yeah, I would have bought it too, even though.
Right, it
All
would
they
have.
needed to do was publish the software.
A lot of people, I don't know if everyone knows this, At Games, which they've received their level of hate too for some of the hardware has not been as good.
I'm
but
a very big hater of that games. Actually.
But I've had
No,
fun.
you're-
At Games actually published the Atari collections that are on Xbox One and PS4.
That's what it thought.
That's kind of low key, and I was able to work with them on a review copy for that. I was very happy about it. They were good collections. It was real, but that was what I thought of: is why isn't Intellivision doing this? Why did they need to sell us?
Yeah.
And to be fair, Atari did it too. The VCS, what the hell even is that? There's still
It's like
people
the-
that
But
are
at least it
talking
came
about
out.
that.
At
But
least it came out though.
and it
did
did,
come out. That was-
but it's like there's still nothing you can do with it because it has less games than on that collection, and they're selling them to you a la carte. It's like who is thinking this?
This
Whose
could have
business
been a
model
whole
is
topic
this?
about all
It's
the
about nostalgia.
retro stuff that gets
Never
shoved
got
down
made.
our throats.
And again, I didn't want to get into a big tangent, but long
We all
story short,
buy it.
I did get my refund. It was in May of last year. We were at the beach. I was like, you know what? I could use an extra $100. I said, I was just having a really deep thought moment on the porch.
He
with
got
my
it well
coffee.
before the stuff hit the
Like,
fan
you
that
know,
people couldn't get it. So
I
he
want
was
my
in.
money back. And I felt bad, okay? I felt bad doing it because I was grateful that Tommy came on the show. Of course, the video did well. And I got some heat for it later on because there's always people who think that you're in cahoots. And I didn't want anybody to think that. But I also felt like I needed to do a video letting people know at that time that, hey, I canceled, I'm out. But you brought up Pat. At that point, there really wasn't anything else
Going on with it.
that could
Yeah.
could be said that hadn't already been said, to the point where it's like, if you haven't canceled yet,
You're an idiot.
you're drinking some Kool-Aid that I
So
haven't drank. You have to know this
Can you
isn't
say that in
coming
the
out.
camera right there? Because we
Say
have
you-
a very important person, a gentleman by the name of Turbo Joe. And Turbo Joe we need to sit down with him and let him know that he needs to let go.
Oh, he thinks it's still
It's-
coming.
he
He
needs
really
to let go.
He's holding out for a hero?
Even
Well,
if it did, what
He
would
is committed.
Committed.
And that's cool.
Or committable.
I actually had some people get upset in a recent video where I picked up Intellivision stuff. They were like, "Oh, boo, Amico." I was like, "No, not Amico." You still have to remember, Intellivision did exist, and it is kind of cool. There's some really neat versions of some of the great, multi-plat stuff, and then some cool exclusive stuff too. It's important to remember that is not Amico, and Amico is not that.
What was the one you got recently? The game that was in that lot that you wanted, the Amico game, the last pickup you had?
It was one of the ones that Gen X John picked up in his travels abroad. It was that
Food fight? No.
Shark.
No.
Something awesome.
Something I've never heard of.
Just
Yeah,
kidding,
well,
I don't know
remember
any of
what
those
it was,
games.
but it wasn't.
White label with
I just know
white
Shark
writing.
Shark.
I remember that.
It was Swords and Serpents. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
Swords and
Magic Swords and Serpents. Really cool game. But yeah, there's no reason to hold on to it at this point because even if it did come out, there's no point to its existence. Again, and I'm not being ugly when I'm saying that. I'm saying we were already playing Moon Patrol here. I'm not going to pay $300 for another box that I can't stick in my pocket to play the same dadgum game. The business model makes no sense at all. And at that point, that's when I canceled my order. I said, this isn't coming out. I sat there and did the math in my head. There is no sense that I can make of this business model, therefore the product will never exist. I'm not acting like I had some great key knowledge or I'm some genius. I just basically did the math. I was like, I can't give you 300. I can't physically take that money out.
And they
give
also
it
want
to
to
you.
raise the price. To raise the price.
Yeah,
they just couldn't do it.
It was still gonna come out.
Well, they did all the funding, like buy the cardboard boxes, and then you'll have those.
Those were nice boxes.
I
though.
bought the stupid
No,
cardboard
the
boxes.
Star Wars Christmas order is to get the cardboard.
We
thing,
all buy
wait for
stuff
the
like
big
that,
silver
so I'm
out.
not dissing anyone that did that
I
either.
bought
I've got my
those.
share of
Shut up
cardboard.
with that.
I bought them after it all started going downhill, and I told people I was on a live stream, like, I'm gonna buy them just to see if they show up, and they actually did. Like, I was shocked that they came. This was after it was starting to like really go down, so they came. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I didn't open them, so I don't know.
But I hope that people out there that are trying to get their money back, I hope that there is some fix for that. I feel like, because the whole selling point was that there is no risk. And even when they were saying that, I feel like there's going to be a risk.
It sounds a little
There's
risky.
always a risk.
Well, there's risks.
Because you're not talking about an established thing like Amazon or GameStop that you're just going to, automate it, get your money back. To their credit, they had my money back in my account in 24 hours. That was in May of 2021 when they still had money. And again, I did feel bad not doing a video addressing it, but it just didn't fit in with my current programming. And I feel like I'm getting it off my chest now.
Yeah, let it go.
I wanted to tell everybody that, look, we're not reviewing this like I said we were because this doesn't exist. Any more than I'm going to be able to review a unicorn's butt. We're never going to have it. It doesn't exist. So, and even if it had come out, I don't know how cool it would have been because they started leaning into all this playing Farkle with your grandma stuff. It's like, man, ain't nobody checking for Farkle with their daggone grandma.
Sounds dirty.
Ain't nobody, but yeah, it's not as dirty as it sounds.
Grandma sounds very dirty.
But it's just like, man, ain't nobody doing that. Now, there wouldn't have been a lot of people checking for the classics either, though, because as we said, the numbers were never there, and television never did that well. In fact, I even asked him, and I don't know if I got a solid answer on this or not, I can't remember, how well Intellivision did regionally. Because again, I didn't see it, I knew what it was, but I never had one in my hands till I think about after 2000, after the year 2000. No one I knew had one. I never saw one. We had ColecoVisions, we had 2600s.
Odyssey 2.
And stuff like that.
Breach. Odyssey 2.
And then the NES hit, and then everybody
Is there no
had
data?
that.
I never looked. Is there any data on how well the original Intellivision
I don't
did?
think there's sales figures except
They
that
did
they
3
say
million
3
units.
That's what they say.
The original
That's
Intellivision.
3
worldwide,
million,
I guess. I
and
don't
that's
know.
really nothing in the scope of things.
Because I really, even the kid that had everything, I don't think he ever had
Yeah,
the
we had a kid
television.
like that too. We had a kid that had everything.
Yeah, his name.
Turbo
I remember his
16
name.
kid.
His name was Cena, and we.
John
And he had the Robbie the robot, and we would like it was weird because there was kind of the weird part where I don't know that we all really liked him that much. It was just
you
that he
liked
had
his
the
games.
cool stuff, and he had central.
There was always
vacuum.
the kid you
He
didn't
had
like,
the
you had to go
vacuum
to
you
his
could plug
house
into the
anyway.
wall and vacuum stuff, which I would just play
Central
with that
Vac?
in the corner and be like, this
Central
kid's
Vac?
house is awesome. He had the intercom thing.
Oh, the
You could
intercom.
talk to
That was a
people
big
in other
thing,
rooms.
yeah.
I was like, this is a crazy house. So we'd go there and just play with all
If
this
you had
stuff.
intercoms in the 80s, you were balling.
Yeah, and it would
out.
have the wood grain on it, and you could like turn the radio stations
always
to different
wood
rooms.
grain,
It was
yeah.
pimp.
So,
We didn't have a lot coming up, so that always fascinated me.
did
when we
you,
go
are
look
you
at real
West
estate,
Coast
there'd be an
born?
intercom.
Grew up out there?
If it what?
You grew up on the West Coast over there?
No, I grew up in Rhode Island.
Oh,
On the
you
East
grew
I
up-
was
Coast.
okay.
lucky enough to have encyclopedias.
Yeah, we had East Coast, and but he had all the cool stuff. He did have, which was the console with, which one had the Smurfs on it? Was that ColecoVision?
Yeah.
Coleco, yeah.
Yeah, like I had only played that there. But that game seemed so cool because I had a
That
2600.
was the other game I got in that
Connecticut Leather
episode,
Company, or what?
Escape from
Colorado Leather
Gargamel's
Company.
Castle.
Yeah, like but when I went home and would play my 2600 after playing Smurfs, I'd be like pissed as a
Yeah,
kid.
because the
I'm
Smurfs
like,
wasn't as good. Yeah.
This shit sucks.
Man, I first saw
Smurfs?
Pac-Man on
I
2600.
said
I
what
wanted
you
to
said.
be
oh, I
there.
thought you were
Sorry.
saying.
Well, it actually does. I mean, we
I
won't
loved
sugarcoat
Smurfs
it.
as a kid.
I
though.
did
That was
too, but it's
awesome.
terrible. You just think, he's dead.
And he had, didn't ColecoVision also have a gas pedal? Because he had like turbo, maybe, like you could play. I don't know.
I
'Cause
think it did have an
which is weird.
attachment
We
like
used
that
to
for turbo.
sit on the gas pedal, which is weird. I don't know why we
That is
sat on
weird.
it. That is actually really
That is
weird.
very
I almost
strange.
wish I never.
You were
Said.
bringing up some memories now that you probably
No, I
should
just
repress.
got sweaty. I just did the sweaty thing where you get uncomfortable about saying weird things. All right, we did sit on it, but I don't know why. Maybe it felt good. I don't know.
It had a rumble mode in it.
It must have felt good. That's the only thing I can think.
This is why you did
It had rumble in
It had a
it.
rumble
Yeah. Woo! All right, we should probably end it here.
Well, don't watch my channel. That's where we're going to end it. Do not subscribe to CaptNRetro. It's
Well, we
terrible.
will end it with, I hope if anybody is not subscribed to these final channels up here, that you will check them out. And we have gone hilariously over, but again, I don't think there was anything after us. So it was a great talk.
Yeah,
And
thanks
I
so
want to
much.
thank all of you for coming to hang out with us hang out with us tonight. I want to thank all of you for being up here with me tonight and talking.
Absolutely.
It was great talking to all of you. This was a really fun panel and just a really fun talk. I wasn't planning on ending it with Amico, but I feel better now that I've talked about it.
Therapy.
And that may be the single greatest thing
All
about
right.
it. So thank all of you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.